right now on Secrets of Louisville Chefs. It's downtown dining at its finest.
I've never had anything like it.
We're taking you to Marketplace Restaurant at Theater Square and going behind the scenes to get all the chefs' sizzling secrets.
Yeah, don't put that on TV, really.
We're putting it on all right. The secrets to bacon barbecue pork chops, cooked underwater and then seared to perfection.
There we go.
Plus, the secrets to a salad that's as colorful as it is flavorful.
I love the salad.
This is very, very simple, very easy.
And if you're not a lover of Brussels sprouts, we have a secret that'll change that.
Well, the Brussels sprouts tasted like candy somehow.
Come with us behind the scenes at the Theater Square Marketplace with Chef Dallas McGarity right now on Secrets of Louisville Chefs. Hi everybody and welcome to Secrets of Louisville Chefs. I'm Kevin Harnett, this time down at 4th Street at historic Theater Square. This was the heart of the city back in the 20s. In fact, the intersection of 4th and Broadway was known as the Magic Corner. And today, it's making a big comeback thanks to the restoration of the Palace Theater, the traditions of the Brown Hotel, and the restoration of the Old Kentucky Theater, now known as the Marketplace.
I can remember when it used to be the Kentucky Theater. I spent many an hour down here in the Kentucky Theater years ago. So
nowadays, the shows here aren't on a screen, they come out on a plate. The old theater is now one of the top restaurants in town with an atmosphere like none other.
Where you're standing in about right now was where the projection booth was for the old theater.
It took 3 months to fill in the sloping theater floor with concrete and many more to create what you see now.
So this is really the main dining room for the restaurant.
The main dining room is new construction with a very modern design.
It's amazing.
There's a flaming water feature, topped by a chandelier that's made from an upside-down tree.
Just to give it a little focal point and a little aesthetics into the room.
The water feature with the fireplace behind it is really unusual.
This is a place you really have to experience on site before you can appreciate it.
And you'll really appreciate Marketplace when you enjoy a meal prepared by Chef Dallas McGarity. Once the top chef at Volare, Anzi's Fusion, he's now bringing fresh ideas for food to 4th Street, like this dish that can turn anyone into a Brussels sprout lover.
Well, the Brussels sprouts tasted like candy somehow, so I think it takes a genius chef to be able to pull that off.
Dallas may be a genius, but when you learn his secrets, you can do the same thing at home.
We're going to start today by doing a sweet soy glazed Brussels sprout with fried eggplant, a little tomato jam, and a little red onion compote. So we're going to start by making the tomato jam and red onion compote.
First, the Brussels sprouts.
These are blanched in boiling salted water and halved. And we're going to get a pan hot, add a little oil, a little bit of minced garlic, a lot of minced garlic actually. We'll start to get that a little toasty. We're going to add our Brussels sprouts. Season it with a little salt and pepper. You want to get it nice and brown on the outside.
Next comes the eggplant.
I'm going to cut it into large cubes.
And before it joins the Brussels sprouts, the eggplant gets deep fried till it's golden brown.
You just want to get a nice little brownness to the eggplant. And once we get a little color on there, add the eggplant. You want to just incorporate the eggplant with the Brussels sprouts, kind of heat it back up. And that frying of the eggplant actually helps the Brussels sprouts brown a little better too. So the extra oil will help.
And to finish it off, the chef uses a sweet soy glaze.
It's like almost like a molasses, but it tastes like soy sauce. So you can buy it in Asian markets around town. I'm just going to add the soy glaze in there. Turn off the heat because you don't want to burn the soy. Just give it a nice little shake around the pan and see how it kind of glazes over on the vegetables and kind of adds like a a nice pretty color to it. And I'm gonna just drop them on the middle. Real simple, not too hard.
Looks good to go right now, but Dallas isn't stopping here. He'll also make a tomato jam and a red onion compote to go with it.
Into a hot pan, no oil or anything. So next I'm gonna add a little red wine vinegar to the onion. The red onion compote is gonna cook down so much that it's gonna be kind of like a thick jam.
After 2 hours of simmering on low heat, the onions are totally transformed.
And this is actually the red onion compote. After you cook it with all the liquid, you strain off the liquid, and it's got a little bit of that sweetness, but you can still taste the onion and the vinegar as well.
For the tomato jam, he sautés grape tomatoes with red wine vinegar, red wine, and brown sugar.
The brown sugar is gonna help to just add a little sweetness to it and kind of break up that vinegar flavor. It's really, really, really good.
This only needs to simmer for about 20 minutes on low heat.
The tomato jam will come out like this to it, so. And then what we're gonna do is take the tomatoes, just kind of drop it on top. And then we're gonna take the onions and kind of do the same thing with the onions. And that's it.
As a vegetarian, I have always loved Brussels sprouts. I thought these were exceptional.
Oh, I thought the sprouts were so lovely.
They were delicious, and my plate was clean, which is highly unusual with me and Brussels sprouts.
And here's something else unusually good. A salad with beans, beets, and candied pecans.
The salad is incredible. It tastes wonderful.
The secrets to that are coming up. Plus, a barbecue pork chop that's cooked underwater. All that and more when we come back to Marketplace at Theater Square on Secrets of Louisville Chefs. Welcome back to Secrets of Louisville Chefs. This time we're downtown at 4th Street, the Marketplace at Theater Square. And this place is amazing, both indoors and out.
This has some of the most fantastic outdoor dining of any place I've been.
There's a lounge with comfortable couches and a huge flaming water wall that drowns out the sounds of downtown.
In the middle, of course, we have another bar we call the patio bar. This got seating as well as a bar. There's 4 garage doors, so when it gets cold, we just pull down the garage doors and turn on the heat.
It's the perfect atmosphere for a beautiful night in Louisville.
The only thing that tops the atmosphere at Marketplace is the food. You'll find everything from pizzas and spaghetti to fresh seafood and unique salads, like this one, with beets, beans, and candied pecans.
We're gonna start by doing the candied pecans. I'm gonna put the pecans in cold water, and we're gonna bring them to a simmer. This is actually the one thing I do to get the bitterness out, is poach them to get the bitterness out of the nuts.
After a few minutes of poaching, the chef strains off the liquid and then sweetens them up.
And we're gonna mix a little confectioner sugar with it. We're gonna mix it around with a spoon. And when you do it, do this hot, because if you don't do this hot, the sugar won't be very good with this. It'll just clump up and be nasty, because the sugar right now is actually melting in with it. So we're gonna add these back to our colander, because we're gonna fry them. And I'm just gonna drop this into the fryer. You can actually do this in a skillet, like a skillet of oil, and drain it afterwards. You'll start to see them turn color very soon. So the key is to have a flat surface to put them after you've actually cooked them.
As the nuts cool, the chef moves on to the rest of the salad, which includes a red beet that's been poached for about 20 minutes and then peeled.
And the color is just completely amazing. And then I like to cut it into nice pretty rounds, and then we're gonna cube it up. Well, escarole is a member of the chicory family. It's part of the Belgian endive family, all that, so it's got a bitterness to it. I like it for salads. So we're gonna take a little and we're gonna put it in our bowl. Make sure you wash it really, really well, because if you don't, you're gonna end up with gritty, nasty salad, and nobody likes grit in their food. We're gonna throw in about a half of a beet into the escarole we had. Cubed radishes, just sitting in some water so they don't oxidize. We're gonna put those in the salad. We're gonna add some garbanzo beans.
And now the dressing.
It's very simple, creamy red wine vinaigrette.
The chef makes that by first mixing sugar, crushed red pepper, and red wine.
Add a splash of lemon juice, just a splash. tiny bit. And then I add a little olive oil, not a lot, just a little. It adds like a nice olive flavor. And you just whisk all that together. Mayonnaise helps the whole things together. This is what's gonna make it kind of creamy. You just wanna add that in there. See how light looking it is? It's not like thick like a buttermilk ranch. This is very, very simple, very easy. And that's that. Our dressing is done. Very simple. We're gonna put a tiny bit in there. You don't wanna overdress your salad, so you just give that a little toss around. You want everything to get coated with that dressing. You're gonna put a little on the middle of the plate. I'm gonna add a little gorgonzola to the top of this salad. Kind of add a little cheese element.
And finally, the candied pecans, which top the salad with a perfectly sweetened crunch.
That's a good dish.
And that's it, a one-of-a-kind salad. You won't find anywhere else but here.
The salad is incredible. It tastes wonderful.
And get a load of this. It's a barbecue pork chop that's cooked underwater, or in chef's terms, sous vide.
A sous vide is actually cooked underwater, so you get a thorough heat throughout, so the temperature stays the same, and then you get a really, really even cooking.
The sous vide cooker is the secret to keeping the meat moist while it's still perfectly cooked through.
This is our 12-ounce bone-in pork chop that has been in the circulator for a little while here, and is done. Right now, the pork is about medium. Basically, we're gonna season this, a little salt and pepper, and we're gonna sear it off on the flat top. This won't take very long at all. It's a nice, quick, even sear. You just want to kind of make sure that it gets a good, crispy brown crust on the outside. There we go, that's our pork chop. Nice crust on the outside.
And how about some bacon barbecue sauce to go with it? You can make your own when you learn the secrets.
I got a little olive oil. We're going to start with that. On the bottom of a heavy pot. I'm going to add some onion, chopped up red onion, nothing crazy. I'm going to add a little bacon that we already actually rendered off the fat. You don't want it to be too fatty because then it'll make your barbecue sauce greasy, but you still want to add that flavor in. So I add that cold with the onions and the olive oil to the pot. And I'm going to put this on the stove. You want to hear that sizzle. When you hear that sizzle, you're doing all right. Then you can start adding stuff slowly. I'm going to add a little red wine vinegar. And then you're going to add lemon, a little bit of brown sugar. I'm going to add a little ketchup. It's a ketchup-based barbecue sauce. Nice and barbecue-y. So we're going to add a little sesame oil to it. You don't add too much because it's strong stuff. At this point, I add green onions, a lot of green onions. I usually cook this another 15 minutes and then I puree it.
On the side, the chef is serving roasted carrots and parsnips that are sauteed with baby spinach.
The baby spinach will wilt down just from the heat from the pan.
And he begins his plate up with a flavorful sweet potato puree.
Sweet potatoes, butter, brown sugar, and a little bit of curry powder. Put down the veg, and then we're gonna plate up the pork.
Haha, that sweet bacon barbecue sauce goes right on top. It's perhaps the best pork chop you'll ever eat.
I'm busy texting to my husband to tell him how good everything is.
Stick around. More secrets from the Theater Square Marketplace are coming up. Next, it's seared sesame tuna and a unique dressing to go with it.
It's absolutely delicious.
Stay with us for more Secrets of Louisville Chefs. Kevin Harnett back with you with Secrets of Louisville Chefs, and this time we're at one of the most unique restaurants in town.
I'm a big fan. It's a good place to come in Louisville.
In fact, Marketplace is much more than a restaurant. It's also a wine and spirit shop, a gourmet grocery, and a great place to pick up something sweet to take home for dessert. But you'd be missing out if you didn't sit down for lunch or dinner while you're here.
Really a good meal.
Everything on the menu is exquisite and a little different than anything you've had anywhere else.
I would recommend the tuna to anyone who comes to this restaurant. It's absolutely delicious.
It's a nice piece of beautiful ahi tuna. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sear it but I'm gonna dip it in sesame seeds first. I only wanna dip one side in sesame seeds, because if you add too many sesame seeds, it could taste kinda, I don't know, too sesame. If you don't have a flat top, you can use a non-stick saute pan. We're just gonna drop it on there. You kinda hear it sizzle. It'll start popping, so the seeds will start popping immediately. But you wanna cook it until you start seeing a line of gray appear on the bottom. And just take a spatula and just kinda flip it over. And you got a nice toasty top and a nice rare middle, and then the bottom's gonna get toasty as well. We're gonna have roasted parsnip and wilted greens. This is gonna go on the plate with the tuna.
The parsnips are first roasted in the oven and then sauteed with garlic and locally grown sugar pea sprouts.
I mean, very, very simple.
And here's the kicker, the chef's chipotle honey vinaigrette, a perfect blend of sweet and heat. It's easy to do in the food processor when you learn these secrets.
We got some chipotles. These are chipotles, chipotle peppers. They're actually smoked jalapeno peppers. To that, we're gonna add a little lemon juice. Then we're gonna add a little brown sugar. Next, we're gonna add a little cider vinegar. This actually brings out some of the flavor in the pepper. We're gonna add a little honey. This goes really well with the smokiness. And I'm gonna season it with a little salt and pepper. Just a little bit, not a lot. And then we're gonna go ahead and blitz it.
And then the olive oil.
You wanna drizzle it in slow, so. All right, let's see how that looks. It's looking good. You'll wanna see the consistency, so I'll pour it in a bowl. It kinda looks like a soup almost.
The plating begins with cheesy grits.
I could eat this entire bowl. They're nice local grits.
And then the wilted pea sprouts and parsnips.
All right, nice little pile. And we're gonna put the seared tuna just right on top, kind of falling down. Now we're gonna drizzle this on top. And just very simple like that, done. And that's our dish. Sesame seared tuna over creamy Weisenberger grits with parsnips, dalmu, and chipotle honey vinaigrette.
The tuna is absolutely spectacular.
The sauce has just a little bit of a kick to it, but it's not overpowering.
I'm not sure I've had grits as good anywhere in the city of Louisville.
They're fantastic. I've never had anything like it.
And it's all fantastic when you eat it together. I love it.
The plate speaks for itself. It's all going. Very good. Excellent.
If you haven't been down here to Marketplace, you've got to come check it out for yourself. And now that you know some of the chef's secrets, perhaps you can recreate the same taste at home. We hope you've enjoyed today's show. If you're looking for the recipes that Dallas shared with us today, you can find them on our website, newlocaltv.com. There you'll also find a complete local restaurant guide. I'm Kevin Harnan, and for all of us at B&B Productions, we'll see you next time on Secrets of Louisville Chefs.
I'm Dallas McGarity at Marketplace Restaurant. Thanks for watching Secrets of Louisville Chefs.